Hi, my name is Escher, and in my English 11 class at Oak Bay High, we are learning about Shakespeare. We read through and watched his play Macbeth, which is about a great soldier who through fate rises to power and because of reckless ambition just as quickly falls, losing everything, including his life. Through many poetic devices and literary wit, Shakespeare weaves a tale that tries to pose the question of how much ambition is too much, and when does it cause more harm than good. Shakespeare is an English poet who was born over 400 years ago in April 1564. Due to being so old, we don't know a whole lot about his life, but we have determined the most important details. Despite being over 400 years old, he is still the English-speaking world's most famous poet. This is largely due to the availability of his works due to the invention of the printing press and his affinity for language. He was born and raised in Stratford-upon-Avon, Warwickshire, where he met and married a woman named Anne Hathaway. They had 3 children, Susanna and twins Hamnet and Judith. Tragically, at age 11, their only son, Hamnet, passed from what people assume is the bubonic plague, though unconfirmed. Shakespeare lived in London, while the rest of his family stayed in Stratford. Shakespeare performed all his plays in the Globe Theatre with his group, the Lord Chamberlain's Men. His group was so popular and successful that the king himself renamed them to the King's Men. I chose my significant passage because it shows how ambition was traded from Lady Macbeth to Macbeth. It also shows how the theme of ambition is prevalent throughout the story. This scene plays after Lady Macbeth reads a letter from Macbeth telling her about the prophecies foretold by the witches. The 3 prophecies foretold Macbeth becoming Thane of Glamis, Thane of Cawdor, and King of Scotland. The scene is a conversation between Macbeth and Lady Macbeth about how the king is here tonight and they could kill him and have Macbeth find his way to the throne. Throughout this scene, Lady Macbeth relentlessly questions Macbeth's manliness and tries to push him to kill the king and take the throne. This scene shows how ambition plays such a large role in Macbeth. If not for Lady Macbeth, Macbeth would have been too scared and nervous to fulfill his prophecies. The quote by Lady Macbeth reads, "O never shall sun that morrow see, your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters, to beguile the time. Look like the time, bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue, look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it, he that's coming, must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom." The most important line of this passage is, "Your hand, your tongue, look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it." This shows how she questions Macbeth and his ability to really be a man. Shortly after this scene, Macbeth kills the king, and his journey of ambitious recklessness begins. Lady Macbeth, realizing what they have done, is filled with guilt and stricken with grief. Macbeth, after finally coming to grips with what he has done to his king that he once looked up to, realizes his prophecy is complete. With his prophecy complete, his ambition booms and he puts his first foot into his grave. His journey has only just begun, but he will just as quickly fall to the same ambition that Lady Macbeth used on Macbeth in this scene.